Sports, 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 sports.
Hey there, sports fans. Welcome to Sportsball, part of the SPDM Crew podcast. We talk about sports-related topics, but we focus on you, the fan, and what you like, whether it is a sport, team, event, sports-related news topic, or athlete. So we're going to change things up, and we're going to talk about some things that I have just been observing when it comes to sports. So the first thing is one thing that I'm really looking forward to, and something that I haven't been talking a whole lot about yet, is hockey. And one thing that I am super excited to see is Alexander Ovechkin of the Washington Capitals break Wayne Gretzky's all-time NHL goal scoring record. So when I was younger, I really loved hockey. I don't follow it as much anymore. I'm still a Blackhawks fan, even though they are kind of in the midst of a rebuild. They've built a really great core and everything like that. However, Wayne Gretzky was somebody that I always viewed as like the GOAT when it comes to hockey. It's the same thing that I feel about Michael Jordan when it comes to basketball. There's no one that's ever going to be greater. At the end of the day, when you break what I thought was going to be an unbreakable record, you have to at least stand up and take notice. And there is something about Alexander Ovechkin. He's only got one Stanley Cup. There's nothing wrong with that. He still won a Stanley Cup, and he worked really hard to get it, just willing his team to to win. But also the fact that he's been with one team, the fact that he's gone through so many ups and downs of being just this amazing player, and he's gone from being like an enemy to being, you know, being somebody who is kind of just this revered figure and just like the best hockey player in the NHL. Is he the best hockey player now? No, he's almost 40. But he's going to go down as one of the greatest hockey players of all time. So that's one thing that I'm really looking forward to seeing in the coming weeks. I love the in-season tournament for the NBA. I really love it. And the reason why is because it makes some of these games in November and December palatable. Because in this particular year, when it comes to basketball, when the East is just such a dumpster fire when it comes to teams right now. It's very top heavy in that sense. But that still doesn't change the fact that I am enjoying the times that the in-season tournament games are going on, and I really enjoy it. Now, I don't really understand how the in-season tournament works. There's a lot of nuance with it, and I'm interested to learn more. What I do know is that they make a big deal when the in-season tournament is going on. The courts look different and there's a lot at stake. And I think this year there's going to be a lot of teams, particularly teams that have younger cores and younger players that are going to go for it. And right now, the hottest team in the NBA is the Cleveland Cavaliers. They won 15 games in a row to start off there. They still haven't experienced a loss right now. And it's going to be tricky to see how that pans out because their next game is against the Boston Celtics. And by the time that this post, who knows, they may have already lost that game. However, there's a lot of other young teams that are scrappy that are really going to be gunning for that in-season tournament game or the I know it's not called the in-season tournament anymore, but still, I am looking forward to it. And some of the younger teams that are going to be gunning for it, I could see the Orlando Magic trying to make a run at the in-season tournament. I could really see the Houston Rockets making a run at the in-season tournament. I could also see a team like the Oklahoma City Thunder, who they've had a lot of success as of late, but I could see them really gunning for a in-season tournament victory. So, seeing as being from the Chicagoland area, that the in-season tournament probably isn't going to do much for the Chicago Bulls. I'm just enjoying watching the in-season tournament and seeing how that plays out. Huh. Okay. I can tell you one thing that I really was looking forward to watching today, but that didn't happen. And I guess these will be two things that I kind of struggle with as a sports fan. The first one is I cannot believe the Chicago Bears lost again to the Green Bay Packers. I cannot believe that. For as good as the defense says that they are, which they are very good, and then in addition to that, we got Caleb Williams and they fired their offensive coordinator and everything like that. All good and well. However, I am furious that that kick was blocked. I cannot believe that the Chicago Bears choked away a chance to win against the Green Bay Packers, even though it's been so goddamn long since they've actually beaten the Green Bay Packers. So we will we'll see how this pans out, but it's frustrating because when I think that the Bears are actually going to have a chance to like actually win, it's just frustrating to see. Eberflus, like keeping Matt Eberflus is just costing the Bears so much time when it comes to developing Caleb Williams. I hate it, but he's going to get a fresh start, and we're going to go through this again where Caleb Williams, or just like so many other Chicago rookie quarterbacks, they get they get one season under their belt, and then they have a whole different team that's just, gone that way. And yeah, it's this happens so often with Chicago quarterbacks where they come in, they play one season, and then the next season is just a whole new staff, and then they're just gonna have to relearn everything. It's infuriating, and it just goes to show the Chicago Bears haven't learned shit about developing a quarterback. And then the last thing, like most people, I watched a good amount of the Mike Tyson Jake Paul fight, and I hate myself. I hate myself for doing that because it was all spectacle, nothing really of substance. It did feel like it was rigged, and this just feels like a very weird inflection point for boxing because with these fights they just if they actually want people to take Logan Paul or Jake Paul seriously as a boxer, maybe he should fight somebody of substance, not somebody who's way past their primes, not somebody who is just not like an MMA fighter, going to the boxing ring like he's calling out Conor McGregor next, and I was like, oh, we had this already. Conor McGregor fought Floyd Mayweather. Like, what are we doing here? Like, why do we need more of this? So it's frustrating nonetheless to see that. And then the fact that it got so many views on Netflix that it crashed Netflix a bunch of times. It's frustrating to say the least because this is probably that Netflix is going to keep doing now, and we're all going to suffer for it. And then the last thing that I am excited for, so the National Women's Soccer League is getting ready to, conclude its season with the final, and we're reading up on these stories about Marta and the Orlando Pride. I've been very excited, kind of reading up on that. I told myself that I would watch a little bit more women's soccer, and I haven't gotten around to it like I hoped I would, but it's exciting nonetheless that MLS and NWLS are just starting to gain a little bit more traction. So I'm really excited about that. So those are the things that I'm looking forward to from a sports perspective, and some things that just, have been kind of annoying me. But that's going to do it for this episode of Sports Ball. Be sure to like, rate, and subscribe to anything and everything SPDM Crew, wherever you get your podcast. Join us on social media on Facebook, Instagram, X, Threads, YouTube, and Blue Sky at SPDM Crew. Check out our website soon to be out at spdmcrew.com. Shout out to HiFlyer Creative Studios for making our awesome logo. Greatly appreciate their support. And if you have any needs for marketing, logo, or brand standards, contact them at HiFlyerCreative.com. If you've got a podcast idea or you're interested in being part of the SPDM Crew as a guest or collaborating, email us at spdmcrew@gmail.com. Until next time, pain heals, chicks dig scars, glory lasts forever.